Hello everyone and welcome back to Contemporary Mama. If you're new, my name is Carolyn. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope you'll consider sticking around and subscribing. It's completely free. You just have to click that red button down below and turn on your bell notifications so you never miss an upload. So back to school is right around the corner, or it might already be here depending on where you live. And I know that this time of year is so busy for many of you. And one thing that I like to do to make my life a little bit easier during the busier times of year is to have my freezer stocked with meals that are ready to go. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite things to prep in advance, stick in the freezer, so you just have to pull it out and warm it up on a night where you don't have time to cook. So I'm going to be starting by making a dump and go crock pot meal. This is a go-to in my house. It is perfect for busy nights to just throw it in your crock pot and let it cook all day. I'm also going to be prepping some freezer breakfast burritos as well as some Italian stuffed shells. So if that sounds good to you, then just keep on watching and let's get cooking. Alright, so all of those quantities that I just gave you, I am going to be doubling for this delicious crock-pot cilantro lime chicken. So I'm going to be making one right now in my crock-pot to have for dinner tonight, and then I have a second in a gallon-size freezer bag that I'm going to stick in the freezer for days, months, weeks down the road, I don't know. But I'm going to have it ready to go for when I need it. So I already have my chicken divided up. These chicken breasts were pretty big, so I only did 3. The recipe said you could do 3 or 4. So now I'm just going to chop up my onion, divide it in half, chop up a bunch of cilantro for each meal, mince up my garlic. I always do extra garlic. The recipe called for 2 cloves. I'm gonna do 3. Divide this big bag of corn in 2, and then I already rinsed and drained my black beans, so I'll divide those up as well. And then I'll just top it all off with a 1/4 cup of lime juice and a teaspoon of cumin. I'll probably add in some salt and pepper as well, just for extra flavor. Alright, so seriously, that took me less than 5 minutes to prep. I love that it's a dump and go meal. You don't have to do any pre-cooking for it. So I'm just adding a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to turn on my crock pot. So I'm going to get my crock pot on. It can cook for 6 to 8 hours depending on how fast your crock pot cooks. Mine will probably take about 6 hours, and then I'm going to serve it over rice tonight for my husband and cauliflower rice for me. I can't wait to show you how it turns out. And before I forget, before I stick this in my freezer, I'm just going to label it because I don't want it getting lost in there and forgetting what it is. I'm going to write on here that it is cilantro lime chicken, and I'm also going to write the instructions on it to cook for 6 to 8 hours on low. So it's the next day and I'm going to be finishing up my freezer cooking by making some breakfast burritos and some Italian stuffed shells. So let me start with the breakfast burritos. I'll show you everything that you need. So now that all of my ingredients are prepped, I am going to be putting the burritos together. So to get started, I'm just gonna take one of these nice soft flour tortillas and spread a little bit of the refried beans down the middle. Too much. Then I'm going to top it with a couple scoops of tater tots. And then a little bit of the egg mixture. These are going to be loaded. They are really going to fill you up in the morning. A scoop of sausage. Tomatoes, a sprinkle of cheese, and then some fresh chopped cilantro. So then I'm just gonna roll it up and place it seam side down. If you're gonna wanna cook these right away, just cook them on a baking sheet at 400 degrees for like 15 minutes. But what I'm going to do is wrap these in plastic wrap and place them in the freezer. Then once they're frozen, if you want to enjoy one, just take it out, unwrap it, and microwave it for 4 to 6 minutes on high, or you could bake it in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until it's cooked all the way through. So let me go through and wrap up all of these burritos, and I will get started on my next freezer dish. What I have been working on. So over here, I chopped up that onion I showed you, minced up my garlic, and cooked those in a pan. And when the onions were soft, I added in the sausage. I removed the casings, added in the sausage, and crumbled it up as it cooked. So that I have that over here in a bowl, just letting that cool a little bit. And then I also cooked my jumbo pasta shells until they were al dente. And I just wanted to mention, same as when I made the cilantro lime chicken, I am doubling all of the ingredients that I showed you in the beginning of this clip because I'm going to be making one for dinner tonight and putting one in the freezer for another night. So my sausage mixture, my pasta shells are all set. So now we are going to come over here and make up the rest of the filling for the stuffed shells. So I have a giant container of ricotta cheese. I'm going to dump that. Sorry guys, my memory card was full. So I'm back. So I'm adding the ricotta cheese. I'm adding the Parmesan cheese. I had some basil from my herb garden. I'm so sad it's the end of the summer basil. But I'm adding that in, a little bit of pepper. I'm not gonna do salt because the cheese has a lot of salt to it. And I'm gonna add in the eggs. If you're only making one batch, just use one egg, please. I'm doubling it, remember. And then the breadcrumbs. Okay, so then I am going to mix this all up. And if you are confused about why I am doing all of this cheese when I just posted a video that I am dairy-free, it is because my grocery store does not have dairy-free ricotta. And I keep meaning to go to Whole Foods. My younger sister keeps telling me that has the best selection of dairy-free cheese, but there really isn't one super close to me, so I just haven't had a chance to make it to Whole Foods yet, but I will. So this is definitely going to be a cheat meal. Like I said, I'm not dairy-free because of like health reasons. So it's because of my acne. So I'm going to have this as a dairy cheat meal, which I do probably like once a week. So once that is all mixed up, you are going to add this cheese mixture into your sausage mixture. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot a really important step. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Remember that frozen spinach that I showed you in the beginning? Well, I thawed it out and I squeezed out all the moisture from it. Seriously, wring it out as much as you can in either a clean dish towel or paper towels. Get as much moisture out as possible, and then you add it into your cheese mixture and mix that all up. I can't believe I went through all the trouble of defrosting it and wringing it out, and I almost forgot to put it in. So once this is all mixed in, then we're gonna add it to the sausage and onion and garlic mixture, and then we are going to stuff our shells. And this freezes so nicely. It's really not that much trouble to make a double batch as opposed to a single batch. You're already going through the trouble of cooking sausage and chopping onions. You might as well just spend an extra minute or two and just do twice the amount. And it's gonna save you so much time. When you have a really busy night, you can just pull it out and bake it in the oven. Okay, crisis averted. My kitchen is a mess. So let's pour this in here. And mix this up, and then we will get stuffing. Okay, now that that's all mixed up, I am going to add a little bit of my crushed tomatoes to the bottom of my pan here. To grab my shells, and you can really stuff these. There is a ton of filling here, so feel free to just go bananas and really stuff these bad boys as full as you can get them. So I am going to go through and just get these done as quickly as I can. And then I'll show you what the tray looks like when I am all done. So they're all stuffed, and don't they look healthy with that spinach on there? So what I'm gonna do now is just pour the rest of the crushed tomatoes over them. And then when you're ready to bake this, just cover it with foil and bake it at 375 for 30 minutes. Then take off the foil, sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top, and bake it for another 10 minutes and let the cheese melt. And obviously, if this is frozen, I would suggest to stick it in the fridge the night before and let it thaw. You could bake it from frozen, but obviously that is going to take extra time. So I'm gonna wrap this up with foil and stick it in the freezer with the rest of my freezer meals, and my freezer cooking is done. Okay, so here is everything all together. My sausage stuffed shells, my cilantro lime chicken is already frozen from yesterday. I just pulled it out to show you. And then all of my yummy breakfast burritos are ready for those busy mornings. I can bring them to work, super portable. I got 2 yummy dinners out of this, 2 dinners for another busy night, and 8 breakfasts. So I think this was a total success. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what are some of your favorite items that you love to prep in advance and stick in the freezer. I'm always looking for new ideas. So please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new, and I'm gonna see you on Tuesday with a brand new video. Bye!